So, I'm here to talk about the retrial of Louis Riel in the form of vlog reflection. So, my role in this trial was Dr. Daniel Clark. He was the superintendent of the Toronto Lunatic Asylum, and he has had 9 to 10 years roughly of experience in this field. He claimed that he was an expert in lunatic cases. I went about researching for this role by reading through Dr. Clark's testimony and doing some background research on his career. Other than that, there wasn't much I could find that would support his statements during the trial. This role was definitely a challenge because Dr. Daniel Clark had very confusing opinions and contradicted himself quite often. He claimed that Louis Riel was insane but kept mentioning other witnesses' opinions and trying to use them to support his own statements, whether they were relevant to his assessment on Louis Riel's mental state or not. I also found that despite having 10 years of experience with the mentally unstable, he did not know the full depth to which Louis Riel's mental challenge went to. He simply continued to restate the fact that this man was insane and not in control of his actions. When questioned by the defense, I had difficulty answering questions in regards to the witnesses that he mentioned in his testimony, as I could not find any information or support in the actual trial that would help me answer why he kept bringing up these witnesses whose statements did not appear to support his own. I think the verdict was fair because Louis Riel did commit treason in the end, no matter under what pretenses it may have been under. Based on the statements made by those in relation to the church and the doctors who conducted assessments on the man, it was concluded that he was insane and not in control of his own actions. And despite his mental state, he had in the end committed treason in everyone's eyes. Therefore, the verdict did make sense, and I think that the judge was right to kill Louis Riel. Louis Riel may be a hero in the eyes of the Métis people of Manitoba, but he is not a very good one. He had led 2 rebellions against the Canadian government, and since these rebellions led to the establishment of Manitoba as a province in the Canadian Confederation, the Métis people idolized him as their hero. What they did not see is the events happening behind these rebellions, such as when Riel ordered the execution of a Protestant named Thomas Scott, who annoyed him, and fled to the United States to escape prosecution. While a fugitive, he was elected 3 times to the Canadian House of Commons, although he never assumed his seat. During these years, he was frustrated by having to remain in exile despite his growing belief that he was a divinely chosen leader and prophet, a belief which would later resurface and influence his actions. Because of this new religious conviction, Catholic leaders who had supported him before increasingly repudiated him. In 1884, Riel was called upon by the Métis leaders in Saskatchewan to articulate their grievances to the Canadian government. Instead, he organized a military resistance that escalated into a military confrontation, the Northwest Rebellion of 1885. And despite all this, he is frequently referred to as the Father of Manitoba. The Métis people are focusing solely on the final picture of his work to make Manitoba a province. Although this act of founding a province for the Métis people can be seen as heroic in anyone's eyes, the fact is his process of getting there was not so heroic. Thanks.